Hey guys, Stephanie here with createfromtheheart.libby.com, and today is day 7 of the March National Craft Month. And today we're doing an art journal page, and it's going to be with my new one that I decorated of the purple and the charms and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to the side of my desk here and go ahead and get started. Okay, so here I've got the purple notebook, the purple journal that I had made. I'm skipping a page so that I can start double paged to make a 2-page kind of layout. And here I'm getting my Alina's original tacky glue ready and a paintbrush ready. I first tried this technique, try to glue the pages down, but it didn't work out that way, so you'll see later on that I just put it together anyways with the glue, but I really had trouble with it for some odd reason. So here you see me putting the glue down, Alina's tacky glue, and I spray my page a little bit so it'll spread a little easier. And you'll see the page kind of bows up a little bit and stuff, but it's okay. When we put all the stuff down that we're going to put on it, it'll flatten down and stuff. So I'm going ahead now and gluing it down, and I'm gluing 2 pages together. That way it'll make it a little bit more sturdy or thicker, because the page is a little thin to hold a whole lot of stuff and a lot of weight. So there you see I'm pressing it down now, gluing the pages together, and I'm getting the next page ready, although I'm skipping 2 pages. That way I can use those 2 pages to decorate with. I'm going ahead and cutting out the slit on that page and a slit on this page. I'm cutting around the edge of the border to make a border around the pages I'm going to decorate. And I got this ideal from Vicky. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she does really good art journals, and so I got her this ideal from her. So here I'm just folding them over so I can tear them off. I wanted that rough tear instead of using the scissors, so I'll just use my hands to tear it off, and that way I can have that roughness, kind of like a journal page thing to it. I do the top, the bottom, and the side of the page as well. I'm folding the sides here now, and then I'll be tearing them off. I fold in probably about 1 inch of the paper. Now, by the time I tear it all out, you'll see that's not a whole lot left, but that's okay. That's what I want it to be looked like. That way you'll see a lot on the border, so I can use the border to stamp stuff on later in the video. So here I've just got some white gesso, and I'm watering it down so I can it'll spread easier. And I'm mixing it up with a brush. I'm just using a normal natural hair brush, brushing all over the page that we tore off of. I'm using all over that page, as well as the other page. The gesso that I'm using is a super value gesso that you get in a bucket from Hobby Lobby. I'm not for sure the brand of it right off. It's just some regular old gesso, nothing fancy or nothing like that. I think I paid like $20 for it, but I had a coupon for like so much off, I think, so I ain't for sure. It's been a while since I got it, but it's lasted me for a long time. So just going ahead and finishing up the gesso here, and getting my heat tool out and drying the page of the gesso, so that when I can go ahead with the next step that I want to do. So here I've got my heat tool out and drawing the page. I really like this heat tool. It's by Paper Studio. It's an embossing heat tool, and it's purple, so it matches my craft room. I really love it because purple's my favorite color, if you haven't found that out by now. But heat is my favorite color, and I'm really happy with this heat gun. It actually does pretty hot. It's got 2 settings, a low and a high, and it does pretty good. So okay, so I've got it dried enough to where I can work with it. I'm putting some scrap pieces of paper under the first layer that I gessoed, so I can ink the page without getting the background done. The ink I'm using some Distress ink of Broken China refill. I'm just dropping some drops on it all over the page, but not using too much because I don't want to overdo the color. And then I'm just taking a wet baby wipe and rubbing it all over the page. the baby wipe helps it spread a little bit easier because the distress inks is water, where you can add water to it and dilutes it and stuff, so it makes it easier to spread. And plus, with the edges are rough, where we ripped it, it makes the edges look a little darker and stuff too, so it gives a little bit of definition. So I'm going ahead and use my spray bottle here to add more water to lighten up on spots and make it like water drops. And I'm using my heat tool now to make the water run off the edges of the page and to just dry it and set it in. Now, if you're doing an art journal and if you're going to use something, do another kind of coloring or something that you want to add water to, you want to make sure you seal each layer in between with some glossy accents or gel medium or something to seal it with. I was going to try to use my glossy paint later on, but for some reason I could not get it to come out for some reason. Here I'm just using a plastic bottle, the ring that you drink from, dipping it in distressed ink, chipped sapphire, to make little rings on the page of it. Now you see me dipping it in there, and it's covered, and I'm just making rings. So it's kind of like my homemade stencil. And now I'm just kind of letting the ink fall off of it, shaking it a little bit so they can get little splashes. Now I'm using a loose brush to put on some more splashes from the leftover ink. Using a baby wipe to clean up my inky mess off my desk. And using my heat tool to set it in. And using some water to kind of help make some of the spots run a little bit, so therefore it will give it more of an effect and helping to control the water to run, so it gives it more of a drift. So here I'm still finishing heat setting it in to where it's dry, letting it all the way dry and stuff, and making sure the ink spots is really done, because as you see there, the water is still running on some spots. So if you try to ink on top of it or do anything on top of it, just smear it. So it's best to let it dry. Here I'm cleaning up my brush a little bit, and I'm getting some gesso that's watered down and splashing some white spots on the page to help blend the white in as well, using my finger to hit the brush against. I'm getting just a little bit more, but a little bit more thicker gesso, because the watered down gesso was splashing all over the place. So heat setting it again, the gesso that we just dripped down. That way it'll be completely dry. And now I'm going to get my Hottie Swap Music acrylic stamp and my Studio G, Distressed Ink Vintage Photo on this page. And I'm just stamping some of the music notes on the page, just random places to where I think it fits and looks good on the page. Just you're putting pieces of it. I ain't putting the whole thing, as you see. I'm just putting pieces. Now I'm taking the scrap pages out from behind it, and I'm getting a binder clip to clip the pages together so I can go ahead and work on the background pages. So I'll put it to one side, and that way I'm going ahead now and getting my acrylic paint. I'll be using the Apple Barrel Black as for my background. I had a little trouble getting it to come out at first, but once it came out, I'm going ahead and doing the whole page. That way it kind of helps the blue page in front of it to show up more, so it don't show, gives a little bit more darker background in the back. Using the baby wipe to help smear it around, blends it all over and blending it in. I got a little bit too much on that edge there, so I'm having to do it and scrape it off the edge, and I put my scrap piece of paper back in there because it was going through on the other side of the page. And I'm just blending the bottom of it down more. I know it's off camera where you can't see, but I'm just blending it on the bottom. Getting it all really good and everything. And you'll see me work around the wires there that will show once the page is fixed. I'm getting my brush now and pushing down in there to where it will cover the white part of the page around the wires that the page will show. So now that I'm using my brush to kind of help smear in the last little pieces, and then we'll get my heat tool and to dry the page faster. So the page is dry. Once the page is dry, I'll do the other side. But if you put the other page down while it's wet, he'll just stick to it. And if you're not ready to stick to it, it'll ruin the paper. So. Okay, so now it's completely dry. I'm taking the scrap piece of paper out that one and putting it on the other side of the page and doing the other page's background. I'm using the same black again on this one as well. And then I'll be using a baby wipe, or a brush, to brush down on this page. I assume that it worked a little bit faster than the baby wipe did. The baby wipe helped smeared it, but the brush actually helps thin it down to where it dries faster. So I'm going ahead now and use the baby wipe to help smear it a little bit faster. But it don't do as fast as the brush, so. Now I'll be taking the brush again on this page and doing around the wires as well on this side. And I know I'm off camera right now. I'm just getting my heat tool ready and heat dry on this page as well. So it'll be completely dry. And I wasn't looking there. I turned my head for a second. I accidentally touched the page with the heat tool. So I'm just heat setting it in so it'll be dried. So I can put the page on, unclip the page and put it back. Okay, so now I'm using my Aleena's original tacky glue to glue the pages together. I had a little trouble getting it out again, but once I got it out, it done pretty good. So I'm just gluing on the edges here and a little bit in some in the middle. No. Now I'm unclipping the pages, and I'm going to glue the right side of the page down. Help seal it down. And some of the glue come off from the side over there, but I'll fix that later. You'll see me take care of it. I'm using my bone folder here, and when I use my bone folder, I smeared a couple of the ink blotches that I had made, but that's okay. I liked it like that after all. So there, I'm just taking a wipe and cleaning up the excess glue that come through, but it didn't clean it up so well. So you'll see me later on go over it with the black acrylic paint. So now I'm gluing down the other page with the same kind of glue. I'm just using my fingers to blot it down and using my Martha Stewart bone folder to seal the edges and stuff. Then I'm re-gluing the bottom edge down there because I didn't take the glue down low enough. So I'm just re-gluing it. And just fixing some of the edges around the corners and stuff. I want them to be against the black. Now you see the black paper rolled up right now with that acrylic paint's on there, but when I get done and stuff, I can lay something flat on it and it'll straighten it back out. So I'm not worried about that right now. Now you see me taking the black paint and covering over the glue spots that that it made on the page, and I'm doing it, fixing it around the edges a little bit, and then I'll take my heat tool now and setting that part there down where I just painted it, drying it up and everything. Where it was a thin layer, it dried pretty quickly, so it's good. Now I'm just kind of cleaning my brush out a little bit so it don't get so thick. Here you see me trying to use my gloss paint, but it wasn't coming out. It was giving me really trouble. I don't know if it dried up or what. It's a brand new bottle, and I already opened it, but I used it one time, and I don't know what happened, but you'll see me grabbing like little tools and stuff, trying to get it open, and it will not come open. So I eventually just didn't use it, but as of right now, I'm still fighting with the bottle. You can see that I'm trying to get it out. I got a little bit of it out there, and it clumped up on me, and I didn't like how it looked, so I ended up not using it at all, because I didn't want that to be on my paper like that. So okay, so here I'm using the Heidi Swap Music one again, and I'm using the Studio G Gold, and I decided to use the Studio G Silver because the gold don't show up very good for some reason. So I decided to use the silver. I'm just kind of stamping it on. It don't show up a whole lot, but I didn't want to show up a whole lot anyway. I just wanted it to become more of a shadow effect, like a background shadow effect. So now I'm using my Studio G white ink, and I'm stamping on the word part of the stamp only on the black background, so just around the edge and stuff, so it matches it and stuff. So and I decided to stamp a little bit of the white onto the blue page, but not a whole lot, and there's more of the leftover excess anyways. So now I'm using my Distress ink of the Vintage Photo, and I'm not even using the dropper. I'm taking a very fine brush. I think it was a number 5 or number 2 brush, I'm not for sure. And I'm just writing create in cursive, and I'm using the number 8 for the ATE part of the word create. And I'm writing time because that's what the movement for National Craft Month, that's the organization's name is createtime.org. If you want to check out their blog, I'll have it in the description box below, and it'll tell you all about the national month that is craft now of March. So here I'm just using my black Studio G ink pad to kind of put a little bit of ink marks around the edges of the blue pages. Not a whole lot, but just enough to give it a little bit of extra definition, a little smoky look to it, or however you want to say it. Now I'm using my etch sketching pencil to kind of put a little bit of shadow around the rings. And then it didn't do a whole really good lot on it, so I decided to go with my charcoal pencil to put it on the rings instead, and it done a whole lot better. Now I'm using a number 2 tortilla to help blend in around the rings, and I'm doing it on the other side page of the rings as well, and doing the tortilla, blending it in again. Now I'm just taking my pencil and putting a little bit of sketch marks throughout the page to help give it a little bit more of definition of shadowing and stuff in it. Using my blending tool again to blend it out so it don't look so much like pencil marks. It just looks more like shadowy marks and stuff. So okay guys, so here's the final project. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to finish letting this dry naturally. And I know it ain't a whole lot, but it's my first art journal in this book, and I'm excited. I've done the create time so that I, show my love for the movement that's going on this month. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my blog at www.createfromtheheart.libby.com. And stay tuned for the rest of this month's video series. Bye!